To turn this over to Alta Vista High School and the principal, Mr. Mike Sterner. And again, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors and the Chamber of Commerce and Brightwood College for hosting this today. Thank you.
Excellent job, Kyle. We'll try again. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sterner.
See, Raphael, where'd Raphael go? I mean, stole it all there. I usually get everyone going, but that's fine. We'll move on. I want to thank the sponsors and the Chamber. I know everyone says it, but you know why? It's important. And you know, it's important to give our students the recognition they deserve because they work hard. And so today I have my rising star, obviously. That's why I'm up here talking. And I want to let her tell her story. And I usually have a little something to say, so I'm just going to say something that I've noticed when you have these sort of student recognitions. You know, I always hear themes in a lot of stories from people that might not be the best speakers. And one is that the piece of coal becomes a diamond. Which is true, technically. That could happen. Pressure over time on an element could make a diamond. That is a possibility. But you know, in real life, it actually creates, well, in the element world, it creates two things. One, it could create a diamond, or it could create something very hard. Now, translate that to people. Pressure over time could make someone very hard, or make someone very usable, very bright, and something that's special to be. And so I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, but when the young lady I have this month comes up, there is a glare. So I want to introduce Marilyn Rodriguez and her family, and Ms. King, come on up.
That was very good.
I practice at home.
I'm impressed.
Well, good morning. My name is Marilyn Rodriguez, and this is my principal, Mrs. Sterner, my counselor, Ms. King, my godmother, and my coach right here, which I love with all my heart. I've had many obstacles throughout my life, and one of them is getting my education. I was 12, oh God.
Come on. Here's a good one.
I think I got one. Oh no.
There we go. Go ahead.
As I was saying, I was 12 years old when my parents were deported. And my family and I went to live in Mexico. Luckily, I had my godmother to stand throughout my way, and my godfather, who wasn't here, work. They gave me the huge opportunity in getting my education once again and graduating. I had so many people tell me, you weren't going to make it. But I am so proud to say, look at me now. I feel very honored to be selected as one of the Rising Star of the Month, as all of you guys. Very proud of all you. And all I gotta say is that I'm very happy because I'm about to graduate, and one of the career I'm going for is I want to become a registered nurse. I love helping others. I love helping whoever I can help. I'm very happy. You'll never see me sad, and if I'm crying right now, it's just because I'm very sentimental. But I'm a very happy girl, and I'm very thankful for having my beautiful squad over here. And yeah, so thank you all for coming. Thank you for just hosting this, and I'll hand this over to Ms. King.
It's perfect what Mr. Sterner said about the diamond, and I consider every student at Alta a treasure, and sometimes we open that treasure box and we take a brush or two, or maybe a semester we keep brushing at it and brushing at it. But with this student here, it was one just a dust, and all of a sudden this sparkle and this light. And we were able to give her hope with school and discover things that she didn't see in herself and hadn't seen, but she was a diamond, and she's literally bright on our campus. So it's perfect that you use that, because every time I thought about it, I thought she just so quickly. Well, I'll tell you some more. And it's funny because we do usually fight as a staff to come, who gets to come to this and who gets to talk about our kids, because we're really proud of them. They are truly treasures. Those of you that know me know that I'm passionate about our students, and I'm passionate to talk about them because they're amazing. So I have teachers here that everyone wrote a little something. I won't read them all, but I do want to read a few. Miss Lodge, Marilyn brings energy to the class that influences everyone in the room. She is kind and warm to everyone, and she sets the tone in the classroom that brings her classmates together in a unified purpose of positivity and productivity. Her love for our school and our Alta family motivates others to connect with each other and get involved in school activities. She truly inspires, this is Miss Kawano, she truly inspires those around her. Her energy and positivity radiates wherever she goes. She has a great rapport with students and staff. She is very mature. Mr. Cruz, Marilyn brings a positive attitude to class every morning. She is very kind and respectful, demonstrates a level of maturity that goes beyond her peers. She is a pleasure to have in class. I'm going to stop there, even though I could keep going. I'm so proud of her, and so proud of that she kept her sparkle and didn't turn hard. She's going to go do amazing things, and I'm just proud and honored to be up here to be standing next to her.
I was trying to be last, which I am, you know. Well, hi, my name is Lucy Pacheco, and 3 years ago I got the opportunity to take Marilyn on as a member of my family. And like she says, I'm very emotional too, but I'll try to do it without tears. So Marilyn's not your average 5.0, you know, like the principal said, but she is a really sweet girl. And when she started at high school, she it was all rejections because she was so behind on credits. And so we sat down and talked to her, and I said, you know, this is the time where we're gonna have to have a talk and say, are you gonna try making it? Are you gonna give up? Or are you gonna continue? You have my full support, and if you want to do it, but I am a little hard on her, and sometimes I just feel like maybe she thinks I don't love her, but I do. It's just I love her very much, and I want her to know that whenever she needs somebody, I'm there, but I want to be there so she could succeed. And I might be hard now, but I see a really wonderful woman in her. And like they said, she's been very mature. She's gone through a lot in her life, and I know she will do great. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You can have a seat. And by the way, I'm just excited. I got called beautiful. They were beautiful, and my name was used in the same sentence. I'm excited. And it's now my honor to have Brett come up with the last name no one can pronounce. Here you go. Come on up.
Thank you. Well, as somebody shared this morning, what a privilege it is to get to come and start a Friday this way. And some of us who are involved in this program, who get to come regularly know, you know, this is just like a shot in the arm to us. It's amazing to hear your stories every month. And so what I'd like to do is take a moment to reflect back to you students some things that I heard or thought of as either you were speaking or those were speaking about you. And so starting with Emma. I loved, well, first of all, I got to say this. I also have 6 children, and that is a huge obstacle you've overcome, just dealing with your 5 younger siblings. So I concur with your parents that was an obstacle that you've persevered through. But I loved, it was said about you that you're determined, you're a hard worker. You shared about how you've learned how to prioritize things. But I think it was your father who talked about how much you love other people. And Mr. Loza talked about what a blessing you are to people. And that right there is what this world needs more of. people who care about others, people who actively seek to bless other people's lives, but in any way that they can. And so that just really touched me this morning, and so I wanted to thank you for sharing that. Jose, there you are. No, don't hide. I see you. I loved how your teacher talked about you helped raise the bar for everybody else, you know, around you, because we need leaders, we need people who are willing to step up and take responsibility. Your principal talked about how he wished he could hire you after your mock interview, and that kind of poise and being such a hard worker like that you have, and that you've applied in different areas, that's going to serve you well. Like those of us who are in the business world here in the room, you know, we're looking for people to come in like that. Well, your principal already said he wished he could hire. You're going to have a lot of opportunities because of that poise and that hard work. But raising the bar for others around you, to me, is something that all of us are looking for, people who are willing to do that. And they're not people who have to be told what to do. They're not people who have to be cajoled. You know, they're like, you're going after it. And so those qualities are going to serve you well as you move forward. So thank you for sharing this morning. Luis. A little intimidated by you, but leading 4 clubs and going off into the cosmos and speaking at TEDx, but what impressed me the most was the story about how you would learn the math lessons ahead of time specifically so you could help your teacher, you know, tutor others and show others the way. And that, I mean, you just took that on as your own initiative to help. And it was also mentioned a couple times about your humility and your kindness, and those kind of qualities and that kind of leadership that you just took on yourself is infectious, and people want to be around people like that. And I just really appreciate that, and thank you for sharing that this morning. Josh, there you are. Can't hide when you're like 6 foot something or whatever. Your quiet humility was spoken of quite a bit, and it obviously came through when you were sharing about yourself, which you were clearly uncomfortable tooting your own horn, which is okay, because your principal did a phenomenal job of talking about your leadership that comes through as a chaplain, as the ASB president, but he talked about your servant leadership and your servant's heart, and how you're willing to step up, and your integrity. You know, we need more of that in this country. We need more of that in our local community. You know, we need people of integrity and character, as was said about you, and even what your parents said about how you saw a need on the TV and said, hey, we have to do something. We can't just sit back, you know. Our society, our community would be so much better if all of us had that kind of attitude. So I just really wanted to thank you for sharing this morning. Brian, there you are. I loved what was said about you, in that your thoughtfulness and humility just exudes from you. And, you know, as you were trying to think about your own story, you know, you struggled to recognize your own impact, but everybody around you sees it. And that is the sign of somebody who's truly humble. But what a phenomenal statement you made when you said, there's more to the world than just yourself. I mean, if everybody recognized that, what a better world this would be. And I was so impressed by that. And you also mentioned something about, like, even if you do something small, you can make positive impacts. And that is so true. And that kind of attitude, you know, again, is what we're longing for, what we need in this community, what we need in our society. And so I just really appreciate that, and I thank you for sharing that this morning. Marilyn, there you are. Wow, what a great story. And you know, you could have Mr. Sterner said it very well, like, you know, pressure can turn things 2 different directions, and you took the challenges of your life and decided not to let them define you. Instead, you pulled yourself up and decided to dig in and get busy and keep on with your education when you could have just given up, like your godmother said. You didn't give up, and I loved how everybody around you was saying your energy, your energy just exudes, even just in the few moments we had with you. But as your teachers were saying, your energy and your kindness and your warmth and your positivity just goes out. We all love being around people like you. And you, my wife is a nurse. You're going to make a phenomenal nurse.
Thank you.
I can tell you that because you're the way you are and the way you treat others and the energy you bring, the positivity you bring is going to be a huge blessing in many, many, many patients' lives. So thank you for sharing this morning. So we heard this morning from future actresses, web developers, physicists, a couple of engineers, and an RN. You know, I will tell you all that one of the reasons we do this is selfish on our part. We would like you guys to let your star shine here locally. We'd love for you to come back, come into North County, come back to Vista and let your star shine, because you will make a very positive impact in our community here. And so we want to invite you back here, and that's one of the reasons we do this, and we really, really see the future is bright because of you. And one of my sponsors, my mentor who helped teach me this program, some of the months she's able to join us, but she helps do programs like this in 5 different school districts. So she's not always able to join us, but she likes to wrap up each month with this thing called A Minute with Maxwell. And it's John Maxwell. He's an inspirational, motivational speaker, and he's a business leader, and he has this little program called A Minute with Maxwell, and it's literally a minute. And so each time it's centered on a particular word for the day. And this one's a little different. He's when he's sharing with us his word, he's actually at a live conference, and there's a whole bunch of people there, which usually it's just him doing a quick video. But I thought, she sent this to me today because she couldn't join us, and I wanted to play it for you. And like I said, it's about a minute long, and the word is about winners, and I thought it was so apropos what was said, so I'm going to share it with you.
Hi, welcome to Minute with Maxwell. I'm with Darren Gray, my friend, who is with All Pro Dad. That's the organization that Tony Dungy is known for, and it's a phenomenal organization. They do so well. We're in Orlando, and I've got behind me our JMT people that are in our mentorship program. These are the creme de creme. They are the best of the best right there. In reality, they are the core of the John Maxwell team. 20,000 strong around the world, 160 countries. Darren, we're glad you're part of our team too. Glad you're a JMT coach. What's the word for the day?
The word for the day is winners. And one thing I'm certain of is that winners don't just do extraordinary things, they do the ordinary things better than anyone else.
Well, Darren, do you want me to participate, or you just want to kind of... No, I love that. What he just said was so good, it's better than anything I'm going to tell you, that's for sure. But I love people like Darren, and I love people like you who every day turn and watch Minute with Maxwell, because you know what it says to me? You want to get better. You want to pick up something today that will help you to be better. And here's what I learned a long time ago: that when you really want to separate the winners from the whiners, the greatest way to separate it is ask for commitment. And I found that winners will rise to the challenge, and whiners will always leave the challenge. Because the challenge is what brings the best out of us. It doesn't mean that we always even meet that challenge, but it means that we are better because we tried. And we get stronger and better all the time. So I want to encourage you. You're already a winner. You watch Minute with Maxwell daily. But I want to encourage you today. Just do something, commit to something, strive for something perhaps that you've maybe kind of not gone for. Maybe you feel it's a little bit out of your range, out of your comfort zone. But today, why not just kind of give it a shot, give it a punch, and see if you can't go to that winner's level. I know you can. Thanks for being with Darren and me and all of our JMTers in Orlando on Minute with Maxwell today.
So I think that you guys all exhibited that those qualities of stepping out of your comfort zone, of challenging yourselves above and beyond. And so I thought it was very apropos. And it's a lifelong process. It never ends. You know, we continue to do that as we move forward. So I just want to encourage you in that way. So as we wrap up right now, what we're going to do, students, when you exit, make sure you exit through this door, because we have a lot of goodies for you here. Many businesses in town want to acknowledge you and recognize you by giving you some love. There's also in your goodies, you're going to get this thing called thank you notes and a list of who to write them to. And it's one of those things, you can't do it with your thumbs. You got to do it with your whole hand, and you're going to write out those thank you notes to all those people who made today possible for you. So we encourage you to do that. And we're gonna take a picture up here today, and the picture, it's going to appear in a future issue of the Vista magazine. You all have a copy of the Vista magazine in front of you. If you look at page 34, you can see last year's scholarship winners, and so you'll probably see a classmate or two there that you might know. Hopefully, and so your picture will appear in the next issue of the Vista magazine, which will come out at the beginning of December. Also, though, while I have your attention and you're looking at the Vista magazine, I just got to make a little plug here. If you turn to page 25, I think it is 20. Yeah, page 25. We have this really fun thing called Vista Pride pictures. So if you're going somewhere fun, all of you have some kind of Vista gear. Maybe your school has Vista gear. If you need a shirt or something, come down to our office. But go somewhere and take some Vista Pride with you. Take a picture of yourself and send it to me, and I'll put it in the magazine. I would really appreciate that. So now we're going to take a picture. So if I could have all the students come on up here.